Good to see you. Oh, you're retired. I thought you had big meetings the other day. Oh, you guys are having a chat. Hello, happy Wednesday, y'all. Good to see you. No, I'm not from Texas. Kiannaa Sadge here, coming to you today on this Wednesday for the Bean and Sig 366 video series. This is a video series where I talk about different topics that will help you align within, that are all in alignment with the natural laws. The natural laws are how energy actually works. It's how everything works, from the pre-manifest to the manifest. That's what we're here to talk about, because we are working to be totally in alignment, okay, with alignment with one. Okay, so today we're talking about a topic that came from yesterday's topic, which is stuck in a rut. But before I do that, I want to talk about the law of structure, specifically because the law of structure is all about receiving information. So we're always in the process of sending and receiving information. So if you're stuck in a rut, that means that you probably have some closed systems. That means that you are probably really rigid mentally, emotionally, physically, in ways in which you are processing information. So what I will do is see what Noel is talking about before I go into the content, because I'm so excited that you're here. I sure am stuck in a rut. I'm too old for the rock and roll lifestyle. But I'm younger than my peers, fed up with walks and libraries. What now? Oh, there's so much more to life, Noel. Okay, goodbye. Hello. Oh, hi, Peter. Good to see you. All right, y'all. So what I thought I would do is, as I always do, is try to give the content up front and then do Q&A afterwards for whatever questions people have about stuck in a rut. But because of the question yesterday from David, so David's here, right? No, Daniel, sorry. Because of Daniel's question yesterday, I am doing stuck in a rut. And I went ahead and defined what stuck in a rut is really about. It's really about unable to see your way out of situations. Like, you're unable to see beyond what you're in right now. You feel like the barriers are too big to maneuver, and maybe even insurmountable in ways. And you really might be lacking, if you're stuck in a rut, you might be lacking lack of purpose. Well, why would you have lack of purpose? Going back to what I said earlier, the law of structures always works with sending and receiving messages. If you are closed mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're going to change how your structures are intended to operate, which is an open source type of system. And because of the ego mind, we might have really preconceived ideas or expectations of how things should work. And when those don't work the way we think they should, then we kind of feel stuck. So that's my definition of which I'm addressing today energetically, ways in which you can become unstuck and not be in a rut. Because what is being stuck anyways is just repeating patterns, right? It's just patterns that are looping and they need to be interrupted. So I wanted to give you a different perspective than what you might find online, or if you're just going to go work with a coach who's going to give you some prescriptive ways in which you can do things. I wanted to give you a different way of actually doing this stuff yourself. So the first thing to be aware of, and I have 5 here, 5 aspects of getting out of being stuck in a rut. Hey, Tommy, good to see you here again. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, that's Tammy. Tommy, see what happens when I don't wear my glasses? Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, I'm going to focus on content. Sorry. Okay, perceptions are choices. So everything that you are perceiving is a choice. So you want to choose wisely. And it seems so simple because it is so simple. If you are stuck in a rut, you want to look at how are you perceiving things that need to be adjusted, because that's totally within your power to change how you're perceiving what you're perceiving. So if you're seeing your life as so many barriers, they're insurmountable, that right there is telling you you're closed. So think of, well, if my perceptions were open, how would I see things? I mean, I once had a client come to me and said, Kiannaa, all I could think of was these two options, and I don't know what I'm going to do. There's no good choices. All the options, they're horrible. And this is an executive making big decisions for his organization. And I was like, I can come up with 6 different options right now. And I literally just rattled them off. So our perception is always going to be based on whether we're open or closed. Open, closed. Okay? So choose wisely. Use conscious choice. Really look at your life and is the way I'm looking at this situation really supporting my growth? Is the way I'm looking at this situation going to support expansion? Is it going to open up new potentials or opportunities? If the answer is no, then you know that you need to choose wisely. Okay. Point number 2 for here is start making decisions that align with the life that you want to create. Now, I'm not telling you to do anything drastic, but literally look at the decisions you're making in your life, and are they in alignment? Or do you just keep on deciding to do the same thing because you're checked out? Because a lot of people that are in a rut end up getting in a spiral of depression, and they start drinking and they start smoking, and then they wonder why they're in a situation. So you really want to look at, are the decisions that you're making every single day, are they supporting the life that you're trying to create for yourself, or are they siphoning away? Okay? And then if you don't know what kind of life you're trying to create, which most people don't, they're just kind of wandering through life, and happenstance things kind of happen, and then they contend with it when it happens. But you really have to know what kind of life that you want to create for yourself. And then if you're connected spiritually, it's going to be beyond your imagination. I can attest to that. That is my life right there. So you want to write down the kind of life that you want to live, and not so much about the things that you want to have. This is not about attaining material things. This is about really writing down the qualities of the life that you want to have. So when I was traveling a lot, and I decided, I used to travel to see clients face to face all the time. Now I charge more to see face to face, but I don't travel at all, hardly at all, because it costs a lot of money, because it takes more time, takes more energy, and it's not really my preference. I could do everything over the phone, just about. Anyways, but when I was thinking about the kind of life I wanted to have, it was much quieter. It didn't entail a lot of airports. It didn't entail waking up at 4 o'clock to catch a 7 a.m. flight to fly across the country. Now, was I appreciative of the life that I was living at the time, that lifestyle? 100%. I loved my life. But when I was thinking about what I want to create for myself, I start thinking about the qualities in which I want to entail. Like I was talking with my husband today, and we were talking about, we really want more aspects of nature, more immediate than they currently are. We like to hike. And so we were thinking of what are the different ways in which we can create that quality of being in nature and immersed in nature for our life. And so it really is about the quality, not where, not when, not how. Don't think about those things. Just list of the qualities that you want to create in your life. Number 4, look at your circle of friends. Look at your friends, look at your colleagues, and then decide, okay, are these people, is this person, look at them individually. Does this person lift me up? Or does this person bring me down? Does this person kind of neutral? And kind of see your friends for how you feel energetically when you're with them, okay? Because that's the way that most people don't look at their friends. They look at their friends with different qualities. I can't say because how I look at people is very different than people look at them. But I would look at people in relationship to qualities. And do they lift me up or not? And a good example is, I went out to dinner with a girlfriend of mine. This is a year or two ago. And I had the meal, and the meal was okay. But when I go with my husband, the food just tastes better. My husband's enjoyable to be around. He really loves eating. He's not worried about whether he's going to gain weight. It's like the silly things that people talk about around food can impact how things are enjoyable. So really look at whether people are lifting you up or bringing you down, or maybe they're neutral, or what are you getting out of the relationships? Because some friends are just meant to be the kind of friends that you see every once in a while, So look at that. Number 5, and I save the best for last, because number 5, when you're trying to get out of a rut, is the most important. Are you making a daily practice to connect with yourself, to connect with your heart? If not, that's something, if you are stuck in a rut, you want to connect with your heart daily. Absolutely daily. You want to listen to your heart. You want to feel your heart, because you're going to get inner wisdom, inner guidance about your specific situation for free from your own intuition and insights. It will come to you even if you think you're not connecting, it will come. Okay? So when you are connected to your heart, you cannot be in a rut. You cannot be. Okay. So those are the 5 aspects to get out of being in a rut that I wanted to give you a different angle than what you would get in another way. My glasses are so dirty. Sorry. Okay. Let's see questions. And Noel, did I answer your question? If you're done with the walk in the libraries, I would say you're probably not in your heart. Noel, are you in your heart when you're checking and walking? So try that. And nobody, it's been a while. We missed you a couple times. Good to see you're back. So glad that you all are connecting in here. Thank you so much, Peter and Oliver, for doing admin here. So appreciative. Or what do you call it? Moderation, mods. Okay, Chris is in desperate to get out of a rut. Chris, Andrew, tell me, of the 5 aspects that I gave you, what is the most viable one? Let me see what you're saying. Let's get you out of the rut today. Good to see you, Salvo. Thanks for being here. Say hello to your lovely girlfriend. I forget her name. She doesn't comment here, but I remember you wrote her name. All right. So I love that you guys are talking here. Daniel is saying closed loops. Man. There is a difficult client that I can't help. It trickles down and it feels like I'm failing my other people. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to need more information about a difficult client, because what I would suggest is that your client is reflecting one of your blind spots, okay? So if you could give me more information, I'd be happy to help you. Okay? Our most difficult clients are also showing us something, okay? Hey, man, good to see you. Matthew, hello. Oh, I love having regulars on here who want to learn. Soli is saying they lose their identity. Well, most people don't have an identity that is in connection to their soul. So it's easy to get lost. That's not saying that there's anything wrong with them, because we can easily connect to our true identity when we connect within. Just looking for questions that are relevant to the topic here. What is better, to complete my studies or look for a job? Dana, you got to follow your heart on that one. My ideas of traditional education would differ from most people. Although I value my education, I think it's more important to follow your heart. That's my personal opinion. I think when you follow your heart, you'll be guided, and I think money will flow from there. Money has always flowed when I have followed my heart, and I have taken some big leaps of faith. Obviously, I'm on YouTube doing this. This is for free. I'm not getting paid. This isn't monetized. We're just here connecting. And, I just want people to learn about the natural laws and how things actually work. Salvo is saying, yes, definitely needed to get away from some coworkers. I feel better now. They all gossip. So Salvo, what you want to do is when you have that situation and, people gossip, they do. And they don't even have an awareness that they're gossiping. But what you want to learn to do is be present in your heart when you're around them, because you're going to have to be around them. To monitor your contribution, if you feel like you have to contribute in some way, monitor it to make sure it's in alignment with your heart. But otherwise, just be a compassionate witness, because you're just witnessing them will shift the energy. It may not change what they are saying, but it will shift the environment and allow you to see the situation from a more elevated perspective that is not of judgment. Just looking for questions. Man, I feel like the worst crowd got here very quickly. Man, it's okay. We have Oliver helping and we have Peter helping. Don't let the parasites distract you from connecting. Okay, do not allow that to work. That's what they're here to do, is redirect people's attention. We don't want to allow that. Daniel is saying, connect to your heart. How do you do that? Through meditation? Or you could just do that by putting your hand on your heart, Daniel. It's not complicated. And just bringing your attention there, taking a conscious breath, and that's how you connect to your heart. Your mind might be overactive, because if I remember, you're very analytical and in your head about a lot of things, if I remember correctly, you're a therapist. So what I would suggest is I have a 5-minute meditation, breathing conscious breath meditation on here that is for high stress. But if you just did 5 minutes a day, or even 1 minute a day where you focused on connecting to your heart, and then as you felt you were able to stay connected, you would somewhat increase that by 1 minute, 2 minutes, and you did that daily, you would know how to connect to your heart. You don't have to go sit in meditation, although meditation is very beneficial, but you don't have to do it that way. Okay, Dana, we've heard that question, putting you in time out. You can't keep repeating the same questions that have nothing to do with the topic. Oh, shoot. I was trying to, if you, let's see. Salvo. Jocelyn, that's her name. Oh, smart. Jocelyn, she's a smart one. Salvo is saying that Jocelyn doesn't have any social media. That's his girlfriend. And that's a good thing. I wish I didn't, to some extent. Metaphysical Mike is saying the eclipse is literally feeling like an internal volcanic explosion, internally clearing away everything that doesn't serve our soul. The cleansing is indeed occurring, whether people are aware of it or not. But it does It does matter where you put your attention, Metaphysical Mike, for sure. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. I'm just looking for questions here. Man, a healthy goal setting helped me overcome my anxiety. Oh, good. That's good to know, man. Know what stresses you out and make healthy relationship with your goals. Beautiful, man. That's very beautiful. You know, anxiety is about not being present in the moment. Education, somebody 247 Gaming is saying education is definitely important. You know, it just depends on your soul journey, you see. Do you want to expand your soul journey quicker? You're going to stay out of conventional institutions. Why? Because those are institutions that do conditioning and programming people to think a particular way and to not use critical thinking. I'm not saying all people, but it's absent in most, unfortunately. Thank you. Thank you. They love the artwork. Thank you. The artist is from Thailand. Oh yes, somebody's saying 4 seconds deep breath in and out. There's a lot of breath work out there. There's many different kinds of ways that you can breathe. You don't need to get in your head about how many breaths. The main thing is that you set an intention to be in your heart, to connect with your heart. That is the most important aspect. Not how many times you're breathing, but that you are connected to your heart. The one thing I did like about walking was self-reflection. You're right. I've been in a loop recently, and I'll listen to my heart and head. Thanks. Good one, Noel. So when we're walking, we want to walk. So what I would suggest, Noel, is when you walk, you begin your walk before you start, you walk with an intention. Your intention is to what? Notice nature. I'm going to notice the nature around me. I'm going to notice the leaves around me. And then you really allow yourself time to notice the trees, the leaves, the colors, the differentiation. And then also be in your heart the whole time you're walking. That would be a good task. And that's what they call walking meditation. But Noel, I'm curious why you think you're stuck in a rut, because I think there's some truth to that, or else you wouldn't have posted that. So when you are choosing to see things as stuck in a rut, I'm wondering, Noel, have you decided what you wanted to create, what qualities you wanted in your life? Daniel is saying, yes, I'm very stressed out these days, and connecting with my heart might help. It will help 100%. But you didn't answer my question, Daniel. You sneaky. You did not answer my question. The question was, what is that difficult client reflecting back to you? Is that difficult client stressed out? I don't think so. The difficult client is reflecting something more profound for you that you have not been aware of. So let's do this together. Hit the like button or have some. CR7 is threatening everybody with some really uncomfortable problems here. What's the purpose of this stream? Marshall is asking. This stream is really about what I've been told, self-improvement, but really it's about alignment within, aligning physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually within ourselves so we can be in full participation and connection with the natural laws more easily. Salvo. Salvo's going to tell his girlfriend what I said. She is smart. It's true. I know these things. Finally, a woman with useful content in a live stream. Thank you, Marshall. So glad that you're here. Everything here on these live streams, I do them every day. It's the Being in Sync 366 video series. I've been here every day this year. Do you know how many videos that is? That's 276, I think, today. Somewhere around there. Videos that I've done every day in alignment with the natural laws. So there's so many different tips, so many different practices, and a lot of people did not, are just coming to discover what we're doing here. And it's a very nice, welcoming group when we don't have parasitic energy infiltrating. Let's see. Intention is to make yourself happy and the people around me happy. That's really about, Taylor, I would really hone, Arden, your intention is to make myself happy. That's too general of an intention. You need to make it more specific. What is your intention? Is to be in joy, right? Don't worry about the people around you, because if you are in your joy, they will feel it. What should I do with anxiety before I go out the door? Well, first of all, the way that you're even writing that is saying, Taylor, that you're planning on bringing it with you. So anxiety is all about not being present, right? There's a lot more to it. I have a no more anxiety program, but essentially, when we are anxious, we're not present, period. So an intention would be to be present in my heart. If you go into your heart, Taylor, you're not going to have any anxiety. The problem is that your nervous system needs to be so the first thing you need to do is turn off your nervous system, like switch it off. Calm your knowing that you're not in fight or flight and you don't have anything to worry about. So you're going to go out and you're going to have a good time being present in your heart. Hopefully that helps, Taylor. Man is saying, I also feel like I'm dealing with unrealistic patient expectations is stressful and causes me burnout. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, well, people have expectations. That's not your problem. So my question, and this is one thing that I was just talking to my friend about a woman that I knew that has second-degree trauma from being a therapist, and she absorbed their energy. So, man, if you're getting stressed out and burned out, you're probably absorbing your client's energy, and you want to fix that. I could help you fix that in like 2 sessions. You would be blown away. Because to absorb another person's energy is telling you that you are energetically more vulnerable than you can conceive, and you want to shore up all the vulnerabilities. Now, I couldn't do that in 2 sessions, I don't think, unless you already have a pristine field. But if you're absorbing energy, you absolutely have vulnerabilities, either mentally, emotionally, or especially spiritually. So the connecting to the heart will help for sure. And you know what? Other people have expectations all the time of other people. That's not your problem. It's also not your problem if they don't like you, because not everybody's supposed to like you. You think everybody likes me? No. Not everybody likes people who are truth tellers. Not everybody likes people who are grounded. Not everybody likes people, period. So if they don't like you, they don't like you. They can find somebody else. Keep it moving. Looking for questions about getting out of a rut. Daniel, I still did not see yours here. If any of those 5 would help you. Jay. Am I a teacher? I'm a consultant. Okay. Mick is telling Taylor to leave the anxiety at home with respect. Good one, Mick, that's good. Noel is saying, I had difficult clients to like Daniel. Comes with the territory. I was a level 4 counselor for people with addictions. Oh, this is helping me, Noel. Addictions, and some of my colleagues only liked nice clients. Doesn't work like that. No, this helps me understand rut. This helps me understand your rut. So, a lot of people who are stuck in a rut are more in the perception of, I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like my life. I don't like my clients. I don't like the situation at work. And the like and the dislike is the mind, the ego mind. That's not presence. So that's opinion, that's judgment, and we all have that, and we can dive into that. However, if your preferences, your likes and dislikes are creating an experience for you that is not preferred, like being stuck, then we need to change how we're seeing it. How I change things like that is by learning. Once you get into the mode of learning, you can't see things the same because your perception changes, because you have new information to expand your perception. Daniel's saying, dealing with a 15-year-old girl, okay, that's fine. Politically correctly, self-delete, but I can find the cause. The child does not want to be open, went through family background, it's stable, talk through interests and self-thought. She opens up but shuts back down. In the next session, no discourse at all. You're not telling me what's difficult, that she shuts down? Is that it? I'm going to scroll down. Okay, tell me what, I'm scrolled down so I can see your comments first, Daniel. So if your client is shutting down, is that what you're perceiving as difficult? And I wonder how you turn off yourself when things are difficult. Can you relate to that? And if so, which I assume you can, because that's not uncommon that people will want to turn things off and escape, but sometimes when people are trying to escape, they don't understand what the repercussions of escaping is. Let's see, Daniel. Because you're not saying why you're perceiving her difficult. And I bet if you were able to come at it from a place of understanding and compassion, she would open up. Or he, whatever the situation. And working with young kids is tough. Really tough right now. Although I find they open up to me quite easily. These kids are under an immense amount of pressure and stress socially. Okay, Daniel, I was waiting for you to answer. Okay, there she shuts down. She engages, disengages. Okay, so that's the pattern. Okay, it's not about being extra nice. Okay, perfect. So Daniel, I want to help you here. Thank you for being so open. So her shutting down is triggering you, right? And so I want you to look at how you have shut down and disengaged in aspects of your life that is uncomfortable, okay? So let me know when you've got that in your mind's eye. Just, you don't have to write it here. You just need to have it in your mind's eye, okay? Okay, so you see you're writing judgments here. One nice day, one bad day, those are all judgments. So I just want you to focus on you now. Forget about her, because right now she is being the mirror, right? She's being the mirror. So we're going to go with gratitude and appreciation for this beautiful 15-year-old girl who's being the mirror, showing yourself how you can be difficult, how you can shut down, how you can turn off and want to escape. Those are the blind spots, right? Because when we're doing that, we're not always aware that we're doing that, especially when you're a smart, astute person like you are, who spends all of your time being in service all day to these other people. So Daniel, where are you? Let me know where you're at. Okay, just waiting for Daniel to reply, as somebody's telling me to come to India to get my hair done. Joe Root, I did a whole video on addiction. Go check that out. I can't go into it because today we're talking about something totally different. I have to push the limit and then go extra hard. I have a problem I can't solve. It's overwhelming in the form of this team. Correct. It's beautiful, Daniel. So stop pushing and start allowing. It's not about solving all of the problems. It's about being present to them so you can see them from another perspective. Right? And you're pushing, and that pressure is actually putting pressure on the relationship of this young girl. They feel that. These young kids, they're very intuitive. They feel things more than most adults because they haven't been totally conditioned out of their extrasensory abilities. So Daniel, the blind spot for you is that you are doing too much and that you need to find a different way of how you are doing what you're doing. Not that you need to change what you're doing, but you need to change how you're doing what you're doing. So what you're doing, Daniel, is absorbing the responsibility, which is not yours. Because that's the thing, is that you're not responsible for this young teen's soul journey. But what you are responsible to do, from my perspective, and that's why I think I differ a lot in psychology in comparison to people who actually do this therapy stuff for a living, is that your job is to connect people back to themselves. And if they're on medications, it's very difficult for that to happen. It can happen, it's just much more challenging. But when you connect to your heart and you come at this team with love and compassion in your heart, from a sense of understanding, because you want to escape sometimes too, and you don't want to talk to sometimes too, and that will help her open up to you, and then you are going to experience a true healing experience with her. Hopefully that helps you. Salvo is saying Goodwill Hunting. I don't remember exactly what. Hey, Eric, I've been thinking about you and wondering how you are doing. Everybody send their prayers to Eric. He's in the midst of that storm that just went through the Carolinas. Eric, you are on my mind and in my heart and thoughts. I hope you're doing okay. And I'm so glad to see you here. Thanks for being here. Daniel, I hope that's helpful for you. No, Mick, we know that Daniel doesn't have, Mick, we know that you don't have, you're not judging his energy. But what you're saying is echoing what I'm saying. And We're not saying, Daniel, that you don't have good energy, that you're not considerate, and we're just using her as a beautiful mirror for you to let down some of your own walls. That you're not here to carry the load for her or any other of your clients. You are here to be a guide to guide them back into their own personal awareness. Mr. Zuron, I don't see a question. You have to put a question here. Daniel, ugh. Okay, that makes sense. Change how and try to understand. It won't, before you have this client, I want you to take 5 deep breaths. Before you even open your door to this client to come in, take those 5 deep breaths and then set an intention to be a servant. Be in service to her soul, not to her personality, to her soul. And let me know how that goes. You're going to be amazed. That's an intention. That's a very clear intention. Oh, love seeing all the beautiful messages for you, Eric. Man is saying, Eric, hope you are well with prayers. Eric, God bless you. Yes, we're all hoping you're okay. Joe Root, the title of the video is Stuck in a Rut. And I went through, at the very beginning of the video, I went through what being stuck in a rut was, and then I went through 5 different aspects of how our perceptions are choices. And then I went about talking about making decisions, creating the life that, the qualities of the life that you want to create, know what those are. Look at your circle of friends was number 4. And then number 5 was daily make time to connect with your heart. Salvo, well, in all goodwill hunting, he realized he approached therapy session in the wrong way, and he drove a kid to better himself, even though he was uncomfortable. Oh, okay. Thanks for the summary there, Salvo. Glad to see you're back, Eric, and have power. Hopefully, all your family's okay too. Noel is saying anyone in a helping relationship should be careful of the ego. It's easily bruised and become a train driver. I am generalizing, honestly, not aimed at anyone here. Well, the ego work, Noel, I can talk to you all honestly. The ego work is honestly one of the biggest things that we have to do while we're here on this planet. Why we're living, breathing humans, we have to do our ego work. And it is the hardest work to do, but it's the thing that keeps us separate from our spiritual aspects. So there's that. But I don't even go into videos about the ego work because the egos get triggered so easily. I only do ego work with my regular clients. So anyway, and that's because I know they're committed to their spiritual evolution and know that I'm not attacking them, that I'm supporting them. But for people that don't understand how the ego plays, and it's so sneaky. Man is saying, Kiannaa, I read about personality called type D personality, the responsibility absorbing type. These studies have been linked to autoimmune disorders. Yes, man. So you bring up the point. I don't know if I told you, if I finished my story about that woman who did a lot of trauma work, and she had what she called, what is referred to as second degree trauma, where you absorb the energies of the clients that you're working with, which is very unhealthy. But it just goes to show you that the systems that you guys are working in are not necessarily healthy systems. So a lot of the training is driven from a modality that is not about healing, right? It's about prescribing. And is it literally dangerous? It is deathly dangerous. Parasitic energy is real. If you think about energy and the natural laws, everything starts in the non-physical. That means the spiritual, okay? So everything that comes down to an illness, if you go to the root, not every single thing, but maybe 90-ish% is going to be parasitic. So you definitely want to pay attention to parasites, not just energetic parasites, but doing parasitic cleanses, that type of thing. Hey, Upcycled, good to see you here. I have Instagram, but I'm not as active on there because this takes a lot of time. I prepare, I think about the topics, I want it to be meaningful and thoughtful, and I'm not very technically savvy to make things merge. No, you make learning interesting and, dare I say, fun. Well, learning should be fun. That's what I think is so amazing about experiential learning. Like, where experiential learning is that you're having an experience, and your experience is at a cellular level, and that transforms who we are. So that's what I do every day. So you got what I do, Noel. I mean, I'm trying to do it on here a little bit, but I like working the one-on-one. I think I'm in my zone when I do that. But I definitely want the messages to be succinct so people have some things that they could go and work on themselves. So I think the most important of the 5 is number 5, what are you doing to connect spiritually? Because all distortions are going to come from a lack of spiritual connection. Daniel says it's been tough. I did a lot of work in Germany with vets and returned from theater in 2018 to 2020, and the stuff that they would talk about would keep me up at night. Okay, Daniel, like when I said that I had a sense that you had vulnerabilities, I'm not lying. Like, you have too many vulnerabilities. You really need to address that. So how you address that is up to you. But continuing what you're doing, if you continue doing what you're doing the way you're doing it, there's danger. You want to shore up any physical vulnerabilities, mental vulnerabilities, emotional vulnerabilities, which I think is where you're most vulnerable, and that's what's keeping you up at night, is because the emotions are very powerful. And by the way, the emotions are the connection to your soul, okay? And then you want to shore up all your spiritual vulnerabilities. And then you want to see, because what happens when you take on other people's energy, when you absorb what's going on, it's parasitic in nature. So Daniel, I'd also consider, doing what's called a parasitic cleanse, and there's so many different kinds out there. Do what feels like it resonates for you, but you taking time to focus on your physical health, and that cleanse, it will change how you resonate with your clients, okay? Promise you. A parasitic cleanse will absolutely change how you resonate. Mick Don is saying, you are a bright light in a dark world, or can it be a dark place at times? Hey, we're all here to shine our light. So you're here, you must be one of those lights too. Thank you. Thank you, Mick. Any questions? Joe Root. is saying, Kiannaa, I'm in university. Can you suggest a book or resource to become more mentally strong? I wouldn't say, Joe, you don't want to be mentally strong. You want to be spiritually strong. You want to be spiritually strong and you want to be mentally flexible. Okay, those are the two things that I'm recommending. And do I have any books? I don't have any books offhand that I would suggest for being mentally flexible or spiritually strong. I would say conscious breath and breathing into the heart and connecting to the heart, and listening to the heart and being intentional. And I have an intention setting class here if you're interested. Daniel, I was talking about past experiences. Yes, I know. But if those have not been processed, they're running in your energy field. And when I say processed, I don't mean processed intellectually, Daniel. I'm talking about processed physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I think for me, the hardest thing is seeing how friends change, like when you realize how your friends are. Edwin is asking if I'm a psychologist. Great question. The answer is absolutely not. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I do energy psychology, and that's what I consult to every day, all day. It's the alignment of the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. That's what I do. Ooh, my hairstyle's politician vibes. Either that's really bad or really good. All right, let's hear it, Salva. What's your question? Thanks, gamer boy. Arthur, good to see you guys here. Friends. Our perceptions of friends are very different as we get more wise. What do you do if you have social anxiety? Edwin. What do you do if you have social anxiety? Let me think about that. If you go back to what anxiety is at its root, it's a lack of presence. So social anxiety is different because when you're out in a big group, whether it's a concert or you go to the mall or whatever you do, when you are around or go to work, for example, you will be picking up on the energy in the environment, and that could oftentimes be causing anxiety. So, for example, when people go to football games or baseball games or big collectives or the mall, those facilities are pumped heavily with electromagnetic frequencies. And so if you are sensitive, you will feel that, and that's going to ramp up the energy that you're picking up in the environment. So what do you do if you have that? Well, I don't think that's social anxiety. I think that's perception. So maybe you're in the wrong group of people, Edwin. So I would say there's something about that. Number two, maybe that environment is just not optimal for you to be around. Number two. Number three, being present and compassionately witnessing will help. So if you get present in your heart and just compassionately witness everybody that you're seeing, that will change. Salvo is saying, I come back home and I notice my friends are doing the same things and haven't really done much in a small town we grew up in. Yeah, that's very common. He's saying, I don't like hanging out with them as much, but I still like them. But I'm not the kid anymore, and I don't want to just play the guitar and do nothing. So it sounds like you're recognizing that you've changed and evolved, and that their soul journey is different than yours. What's the question? I am unable to sleep at night. What precautions should I take? See if you have any parasites. Do a parasite test. That's usually an issue of sleep. 2, you need to understand your nervous system more. I did a whole two videos on the central nervous system, so go watch those videos. Number 3, sleep is so important, so I would look at taking some type of magnesium maybe, if you feel like you resonate with that. But I would look at what the undercurrents are that's going on there. Call of Duty is saying, do I agree that firearms can be civilian possessions? Well, in the United States, we have a constitution that there is the right to bear arms. And I don't necessarily agree that they bring more harm than benefits. I don't know. I feel like they think I'm the weird one when I think they haven't really grown. Well, so get comfortable with being the weird one. I mean, they're just making judgments. What do you think about people who make judgments? I mean, do you respect these people? And are your friends really the kind of friends that make judgments on people and think poorly of them? I mean, I don't have normal friends. I'm not normal. I'm not the average, in my opinion. So I'm okay with being weird. I'd say get comfortable with being weird and not caring about it. I would say get more self-assured in your skin and know who you really are, what you are, and how you serve, and what they think doesn't matter. When you're really secure with who you are, the judgments of others falls right off. Okay, I'm about to start the biggest mission of my life. I don't know what you mean by the biggest mission of your life, but I would say, focus on being intentional. No. If I can use your platform to say to a dear friend, Daniel, be careful, I've helped many vets from our troubles, 30 years of war in Northern Ireland, and what I was taking in left me ill. I changed track. Noel, thank you so much for sharing your heartfelt comments here. And so you know exactly what I'm speaking of. There's doubt. I work with lots of military people. There's no doubt they are being fed into another system. Another system that necessarily able or capable to contend with the horrors that many of these people have seen. But the spiritual journey is for us all, right? So if somebody is showing up in your experience, they're showing up because you're resonating with it. So there's learning there. Mick is asking, what about drawing your attention you don't want when you go to certain places and you feel very uncomfortable? Mick is asking, what if you are drawing attention and that makes you feel uncomfortable? Well, you always have conscious choice, Mick. So you could always move and leave or give it a certain period of time. That's another thing with social anxiety or just knowing yourself, is to have a specific duration of time. Like, okay, I could go for 2 hours or I could go for an hour, and then you leave. And if you feel okay at the hour and you want to stay longer, fine. If not, then you choose not to. But you're always in conscious choice. If something doesn't feel right, that doesn't mean push through. That means you've got to make some different conscious choices. Your body will always talk to you. When you are feeling anxiety, that is your body sending alarm signals. Now, because most people don't know how to manage their nervous system or are taking narcotics or drugs because of their nervous system, they become even more stuck. And so the nervous system still revs while their mind is numbed out. So you got to know your nervous system. You got to listen to your body. You got to learn to listen to your body. That's why I said 5 minutes every day, or number 5 was to give time every day and feel and listen into your heart, because that will change how your chemicals are running. Anyways, just going to see if there's any questions here. I do respect them, but they do judge more than they ever used to. Well, people get more judgmental as they age. So if you respect them, then maybe have a conversation with them and say, do you think I'm weird? I mean, what do you think is weird about what I'm doing? And just get their opinions. Maybe you just need to connect with them. Instead of just play guitars, maybe have a chat. Just say, you think I'm weird for doing this? And just ask them. Because otherwise, you're just making assumptions about what they're thinking instead of asking them. So I would stay away from assumptions, Salvo. Okay. Daniel says, thank you, Noel. It was just 2 years. I will talk through it with someone and try to sort it out energetically. This is not a talk through thing, Daniel. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is not an intellectual process. It is an energetic process. Edwin, I used to be an active person. I always came to the stadium to support my favorite team. Okay, here we go. In the match, after anxiety came to me, everything changed for the worse. Depression. Well, here's the thing, is that most people don't realize that those facilities get pumped with those frequencies, and those are very, very low frequencies, and they do trigger the nervous system. So your body's talking to you, very intuitive. Yeah, so stay away from the stadiums. You don't want to go support your favorite team. You want to support your nervous system. Go into the nature, drink some tea, consciously breathe, connect with your heart, connect. Depression is disconnection. So connect spiritually, Edwin. You want to connect spiritually. And forget about going to those games with your team. It's not what you think it is. Mick is saying, I grew up in Ireland. I know what he is talking about. You know, we can't even imagine. Noel is saying, not being patronizing, but I have to say, oh, you're giving me a compliment. Thank you, Noel. But I am mega intelligent. Oh, I'm going to pin that. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you. Mega intelligent. That one I have not gotten ever. It made me lose where I was at. Daniel's saying with anxiety exposure, he's saying do exposure therapy and do what scares you. Over time, it takes fear's power away. If there's social anxiety, the best way to get over it is to just talk to people, even if it's small talk. Daniel, the small talk would give me anxiety. I can't stand it. I will do it, but I'm not good at it. I don't like it. So funny. I lost where I was at because I laughed so hard, Noel. I'm mega intelligent. Okay, I think I got through all the questions. Okay, let me just check. This is a good chat. This is a good chat on being stuck in a rut. Thank you so much. So, what's tomorrow's topic, y'all? Do you have any suggestions? So, we talked about stuck in a rut. We could talk about absorbing energy, but I think it's too esoteric. It's too general for most people to understand. What's tomorrow's topic? Peter, any suggestions? You've been a rich resource and so helpful and really giving topics that are so meaningful. You want me to do a topic on assumptions? Assumptions. Let's talk about gut health. My husband hates when I talk about that. Well, I won't say he hates it, but for a while I was on a kick about the gut biome. But I'm not an expert in the gut biome. Oh, impulse control, impulsive. No, I got your comment pinned, so now I see your comment repeatedly. Rash decisions. It depends how you're defining sane, M. If you're insane, I'm definitely sane. People that are out of their minds think that I'm out of my mind. That's usually what happens. Assumptions, rash decisions. Peter, I'm waiting for you. Well, you guys have been great. I thought it was a more meaningful discussion than I thought it would be about stuck in a rut. Impulse or rash decisions, okay? No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I covered dynamics of abuse. There's so many. I did abuse counseling for emergency, the relations, the aspects the connections of dynamics of abuse. It's so vague though, abuse, because the kind of abuse that people are getting, people are so physically oriented. I will have to think about that, Peter, because here's what I think is that people are so physically oriented that they don't understand that most of the abuse that they're getting is coming in the non-physical. That's why the spiritual work is so incredibly important. So we were just talking about transference with and absorbing energy with the therapist, Daniel, but really what's happening there is an energetic attack. But he's not aware of that because his constructs are all about the physical, even though he's talking about the mind. But so you see my dilemma. I really want to make things palatable energetically and also physically. And so much of the abuse, I think, is happening in the non-physical and not the physical. We experience it in the physical because maybe that's the angle. We experience abuse in the physical because we've been ignoring the spiritual. I think that's it. How about why people leave things in the doorway or the walkway? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. That might be a cultural difference. Embracing who you really are in spirit. Oh, you know what I noticed is when I do positive type of topics, nobody watches. Embracing who you really are. But I think that is going to depend on how you are perceiving and what level of consciousness you are perceiving in that moment, Mick. You know, who you are and who you think you are very different things. That's a very profound question. Hey, Mel. Good to see you. I'm so proud of you, Mel. You're doing such a good job. Thanks for being here. You're awesome. How others affect your mood and energy and what you could do about it. How others... Well, what that brings up, you're seeing me in my process, Daniel. What you're bringing up to me is the victim-victimizer, and that people are not really taking full responsibility of their conscious choices when they are being impacted, like the guy that was talking about social anxiety. You know, he felt it, but he was at the game. He was supposed to support his team, and he wanted to support his team, and his desire to support the team superseded what he was feeling. When I get a feeling like that, I get the hell out. I don't go. And if I can't go, I do everything I can to take care of myself in that moment. I don't try and stay in those situations. And I think I did a video, Daniel, on absorbing energy. Mood impacts. I have to think about this. I appreciate you're all chiming in and giving some suggestions here. Relationship dynamics. Oh, relationship dynamics, specifically about abuse. Is that right? Okay. That's a big topic for one video. We could be all over the map with that, but I could try it. Okay, personality development. Personality development. We have a personality matrix. Okay, so I could just do personality. I thought I talked about the personality already in identity. Which, by the way, personalities. Because our personalities aren't fixed. Okay. All right, I have some topics here. Personality development. Okay, personality developed while under abuse. So how about parental abuse? Is that fine? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, y'all. It's been over an hour. Thank you so much for your patience and being here. If you missed the top 5 aspects of I could just do abusive relationships. All right, so I got a lot of topics here. I gotta feel into it and see what feels most appropriate to talk about. But certainly abuse is a big problem for many of us. And if you watch my other video, my videos on manipulation, I tell you the dangers of really what could really transpire, and that's led me to what I do now. Anyways, I thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your willingness to contribute. I hope, Daniel, that my consult helped and was met with an open heart, because it really was intended to be supportive and encouraging and loving to you and your situation. And oftentimes when we are met with difficult situations, we miss the lessons because we feel the challenge, and the challenge is calling us to wake up to what we're missing within ourselves, really. So thank you so much. So I see you all are commenting here. I want to get those comments. No. Daniel, you've been here every year, every day this year? Thank you so much. I haven't ran out of topics, but I really just want to make topics that are meaningful for others, because I have a very unique experience about what I experience, and I don't think I'm the norm. And how I approach things are very different than other people. That's why I was wondering, should I do one day where I do, what would Kiannaa do? Because I don't do things like anybody else I've ever met. And I'm not speaking from ego. I'm speaking because I really work to be in alignment and like follow my heart. And I do things that are unconventional. I do my own little experiments to see how things feel for me. I don't follow prescriptive ways of doing anything. Even if a doctor, which I don't go to the doctor, but if a doctor told me to do something, I probably wouldn't follow him if it didn't resonate. So I haven't run. Thank you for being here, Daniel. I did not know that. Thank you, thank you. I did not know that you all were following from day one. That's a lot of videos, lots of videos. I have a video on addiction. Go find it. Oh, okay. Okay, Daniel, you have not been here, but you just found me last week. Okay. Well, thanks for your participation. Mel says I should do the what would Kiannaa do? Most people on here don't know who Kiannaa is, so they won't hear. Thank you, Oliver. Oliver's back. All right, y'all. I'm going to go. It's been great connecting with you on this Wednesday. Tomorrow's video is going to be a little bit shorter, but it's going to be right on schedule. I'm booked all day tomorrow, but I want to get these videos to you anywhere between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will be doing this live again tomorrow. I am Kiannaa Sadge, and I guide people to peace. And please subscribe and put your notifications on and a thumbs up if you like this video. Because I don't always come on at a scheduled time, notifications are very helpful for you. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.